Our next guest is with a company that's constantly delivering innovation that makes amazing experiences possible, and we always love having our friends from Intel on because they're always talking about cool new things to share with our audience. We have the Director of Business Planning and Innovation from Intel. Love that title. There's so much involved in that. Roger Chandler, welcome back into Tomorrow.
Thanks, Dave. It's great to be back.
Always a pleasure to have you. And like I said, I love your title because it talks about planning and innovation. I mean, that's what this industry of tech is all about.
Right. Yeah.
It's
a mouthful, too. So.
Yeah, but still, you and your team have got to be having a lot of fun. I know Eric and Jeff and all the rest of them are constantly at the forefront of helping make things happen to get the word out about, look what you can do with tech.
Right.
And your group is the Software and Services Group, but let our audience know, what does that mean? What do you guys do other than have a lot of fun?
Yeah, sure. So the Software and Services Group is a pretty large group within the corporation. And the best way to think about it is Intel makes arguably the most technologically advanced mass-produced product ever made in the history of humanity. And every 18 to 24 months, we increase the complexity by 100%. So
Moore's Law lives.
Moore's Law is, yeah, and as stewards of Moore's Law, it's our responsibility to help understand how to put all those capabilities to use so that you can actually improve people's lives, deliver experiences people want to have. And so one of the best ways to do that is to actually work with the software ecosystem, because when you take our products and you put them in a platform and you run software on it, that's when really amazing things happen with people. And so what our group does is we work with millions of software developers around the world. We help them understand how to take advantage of the platform. We help with tools for that. And we also work really closely with them to understand what are user needs, what are unarticulated needs that consumers might have, what are value that you can add to enterprises. And then we help them to iterate and prototype and come up with new things and test them and then take them to market. So it's really cool. It's exciting.
And I love the concept you talk about the importance of the software end of things. Because
Right.
hardware is just that. It's
Right.
hardware. It won't do anything until you get the brains behind it to make things happen.
Right.
And that's what's so important.
Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes hardware companies or platform companies can run the risk of seeing software as kind of like the last decoration station as your product goes out the door.
Yeah.
And we really try to take a different approach to it. We actually see the software applications that will run on the platform as arguably the most important feature of the platform.
Yeah.
So what's that feature? What value will it bring? Who's it going to, whose needs will it serve? That type of thing. We're really big proponents of the design thinking methodology. So you basically understand user needs and iterate and prototype and test and experiment, and it's pretty fun. That's a lot of the things that we do in the organization.
Give us an idea of the kinds of companies or even the companies that you would work with in these kinds of ideas, and how it's almost, I'm sure, like a light bulb going off for some people to go,
Yeah.
oh my God, you're right. This is so important. Let's kind of regroup here and make it not the last thing in the chain.
Well, it's we are represented. We do work in pretty much every major business segment, every type of platform. There's work we do in the from the data center to high performance computing to we work with a lot of game developers. A tremendous amount of innovation occurs in the gaming space because both just the platform performance and how you interact with it. But we work with car manufacturers. We've done multi-year innovation projects with car manufacturers where we help them and work with them to invent new experiences folks can have in the car to keep the driving experience safe and enjoyable and that type of thing. And
and especially with the latest innovations and the autonomous vehicles and all that.
Yeah.
If they don't stay ahead of that curve, we've got safety issues, let alone convenience and productivity and everything else. So, so much to consider there.
Yeah. And a lot of opportunities coming, particularly this year, as there's been a lot that Intel's been talking about about the RealSense technology.
Oh yeah.
And it's basically, RealSense is you're integrating a camera that can actually, it's depth sensitive, it can do measurements, it can do all kinds of things that traditional cameras integrated platforms can't do. So, and as you kind of look at that, the opportunities to deliver new things that users might get excited about and really solve real problems is tremendous. And so we have a lot of projects going on there across the board, from retail to consumer to you name it.
Wow. I mean, it's got to have your team always pumped. and really excited about the kinds of things going on, and who knows what's into tomorrow.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a pretty fun job, and it's always very stimulating. You're always learning a whole lot. We're always doing some exciting things, and it's great. It's great.
And it's fun to be challenged, yet at the same time excited about these challenges, because it's not like, uh-oh, now what do we do? No. You just jump on it and run.
Right.
And what's in store, do you think, into tomorrow, if I may? What are you guys looking at now, especially for later this year or into this year now, that just has you so pumped?
Yeah, well, as our CEO Brian spoke about yesterday in the keynote, there's a lot of things going on in the Internet of Things space, and when you think about that, from wearables to things happening in industrial, to where when the technology, the computing capability can actually be integrated into smaller and smaller form factors, producing all kinds of new data that developers can innovate with. That's pretty interesting. So there's the big effort there, and how do we really help the ecosystem understand the opportunities there and help them kind of innovate with us and with them and so forth to solve real problems. The PC platform has evolved significantly. It's so different than it was. If you look at a PC 3 or 4 years ago and compare to what you can get today, it's amazing what these things can do. And the form factors can change from a PC to a tablet type of thing. These have implications on software applications.
Yes.
Because you have different usages if you're on a PC, the precision of a PC versus the convenience of a tablet, and how do you innovate with the software for that? And then RealSense is going to be that's going to be an exciting innovation. Who knows what the ecosystem is going to do with this? We've got some ideas, but we're really excited to see how the ecosystem runs with it and really does amazing things.
And how some of your partners come up with things that maybe you guys hadn't thought of. And
I'm sure they will.
Yeah, we can do that.
To be honest, some of the best ideas that we've seen have been because of some of the bad ideas my team has presented to some of the folks in the ecosystem, because we think, hey, it's something, and then. And then once you kind of start that iteration and prototyping and start coming up with some of these concepts, you inspire others to kind of do a better job than you do. And then once you see that's great, because, hey, at the end of the day, as long as somebody's doing something amazing, we're happy. So.
Exactly. And I'm sure from consumers, too, you get a lot of ideas. If only I could do such and such. And now your team starts pondering, well, of course you can. Now how? And that makes life interesting. You guys have to love your jobs, I'm sure. So we love it. Of course, Intel.com for more. And you'll see not only what Roger and his team are regularly up to, but everything that's cooking at Intel. And, of course, we'll link you there as well, as if you can forget Intel.com. But visit us at intotomorrow.com and be sure and check out such things as on our highlight video from CES. We talk about all-in-one HPs with, of course, Intel processors, like these little cereal bowl complete PCs that are doing amazing things and in fashionable colors. I mean, it's limitless what we can do with tech. It's so cool.
Right on.
Thank you, Roger, for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, by all means. Very busy exhibit here at CES, too, so we're going to let Roger get back there. We're back with more from Las Vegas. I'm Dave Graveline, our 20th year broadcasting from CES on the Advanced Media Network.